All right, hey guys, this is Christie. I am with Debbie Lynn Smith of let me see of frickin' Chimera Press. Sorry, I'm like muddling with Windows, so I apologize, guys, if I'm swearing off in the background. She is here currently with her current Kickstarter. Now, with the Kickstarter right now, with my end, it is 3,713. We are 187, like the undercover cop, like in that gangster rap video, which I can't think because I'm tired drunk right now. No, I'm not drunk. I am just tired as hell. And we are 114 backers. Let's see how far we can go because we got 10 days. We are funded, and I want to get those pins out to you guys. So let's go check out the Mary Shelley Presents. So there you go. We're at 1350. They just started. How long ago did you start? That was like a few days ago, right?
Yeah, I think it's been 4 or 5 days.
That's not too bad. That's not too bad. It's pretty decent. So please give to her as well. So they're 1350 out of 7K, but let's go ahead and go beyond that. You know, like we're not here to go for glass ceilings and shit and everything. So let me go ahead. Yeah, I know. Let me go ahead.
We'll get to do hardback instead of paperback, and that would be great.
Oh yeah, definitely. Whoop, sorry, my Facebook page. Let me not do that. Okay, sorry. I hope I did not show any horribly like pressing conversation. So let me go ahead and do this. So here we are, Debbie. You are on the thing right now. Sorry about that, guys. So I guess that's fine. Okay, nothing personal was up there. So all right, cool. So so anyway, go ahead and tell us about Mary Shelley Presents as a starter.
Okay. Something's ringing in my office, and I'm terribly sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
Okay, that should take care of it.
This is lunch hour. Nothing is perfect. There you go.
Okay, so Mary Shelley Presents is the Nancy Holder, New York Times bestseller and 5-time Bram Stoker Award winner, is the writer. It is the horror story of Victorian women. Mm-hmm. She adapts the stories and then with the actual story behind them. So we have Elizabeth Gaskell, Margaret Strickland, Amelia Davis, and Edith Nesbit. Mm-hmm. And these all, actually, Amelia Davis was more famous in her day.
Oh, really?
And all of these women were very famous. Mm-hmm. But we haven't heard of them. Mm-hmm. Resurrected their voices. And show that women have been writing horror for a very long time.
Yeah. So, what horror stories have they written, like that we would be knowing about in the mainstream in general?
Well, they're really not in the mainstream, because, like I said, their voices have been forgotten. But the most famous one is Elizabeth Gaskell's old Nurse's Tale. Mm-hmm. And that's a ghost story. It's been reprinted a lot of times. As a matter of fact, there's a book out right now called Weird Women, edited by some friends of mine. Mm-hmm. And they also have Nurse's Tale in there. Mm-hmm. So that's the most famous one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I actually should get more into it. It's weird because I liked Charlotte Bronte. She was the one that did Jane Eyre. I liked her a lot, and I know that's not really horror. I guess it's gothic, but I just thought it was. I thought it was interesting.
I thought it was.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I got mono.
Oh, fuck.
But they didn't know what it was. They thought I had leukemia, so I was in the hospital, and I watched Jane Eyre with George C. Scott.
Oh, okay.
It's hard to find, but oh my God, it was just I don't read the book, but it was just a wonderful adaptation of the book, and it was so scary.
Yeah, it's very emotional. You know what? Actually, I will probably be gore danced for this, but I really did not like Wuthering Heights. Everybody pissed me off in Wuthering Heights. I mean, I understand it was classism and an illustration, but everybody was just so fucking annoying, and it was kind of like in the way, I guess how, and it's not meant to sound demeaning, but it's sort of like the whole millennial versus boomer, like okay boomer type shit was going on. Like everybody, like the older generation completely fucked over the younger generation to a point, but luckily everybody conveniently died, so everything was better again. That was Wuthering Heights, and I think I hated that for that.
I didn't like it because I thought it was boring.
Yeah,
I just honestly thought it was boring. Nothing really happened until somebody died.
yeah.
You know?
And it was like people that you didn't even like a lot of the time. Like even Catherine, I kind of hated her because she was just this frivolous asshole. Like the mother, Catherine, not the daughter. The daughter was actually kind of okay. Like she was actually kind of the more innocent person in this, and then so was I guess her cousin, Harriton. Not the Harriton, the younger Harriton. You know the one that was the son, and to repay like the adopted brother in kind, he wanted to basically fuck over the son like how the son fucked over him, which yeah, that's great, you know. Rose, my friend Rose, she's in her 20s. She said, "Okay, Gen X, okay." We make that joke all the time. We have like this incredibly snarky sense of humor. So yeah, we were laughing about that. So it's like I just realized like I just write it publicly like I fucking hate Wuthering Heights. I don't like it. All the characters are. I mean, okay, with the Bronte sisters, their shit was over the top anyway. Like people were very emotional and this and that, the other thing. It was like this big sweeping thing, and that's fine. You know, you can read and write a book. You can write a book that's that nuts. You know, but I just think I just kind of hated Wuthering Heights, like the people in them, because they weren't pleasant. They weren't cool. They were just fucking annoying as hell. Like I didn't like them at all for that. But, you know, let me go and add some other people here, too, because... Oh, stop it. So, anyway, but, so, yeah, but I think we're 1/7 of the way to goal, so I think that's not too bad. That's a good thing, you know, and I think that's a great thing as well, so...
My goal really is to hit 25%. You know, that's my first goal. I would like to do that within the next day or two.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's for 19% now. And the exciting thing is too is that if people pledge before February the 14th, we're going to have a set of 4 different wallpapers. And if you pledge before the 14th, you'll get all 4 different wallpapers, and they're scenes from Mary Shelley Presents.
Oh, nice. And just to let you guys know, I've also pinned her Kickstarter on the top part of the comment, so please go over there and support her. You guys have been great at supporting me. Oh, yeah, you're welcome. You guys have been great at supporting me. Mine is in the fucking main post up there, but then my other stuff is, but I always pin the person. Hey, Denise, I always pin the guests, like Kickstarter or whatever they're going for, up on top so people can see it and click on it. And if you guys throw them $1 like you did me, some of you guys threw $1, that's fine. Any little bit helps. Tell your friends, share it.
We appreciate dollars, we appreciate $5. It doesn't matter. I mean, we try to make some lower tier rewards so people could get something
Excuse me.
whatever they post. And like I said, everybody that posts will get the wallpaper.
Oh, yeah.
So it doesn't matter if it's $1 or not.
Yeah.
You know, to be fun, we'll send out the 4 wallpapers.
Yeah. Hi, Denise. She's a writer, too. Denise. She does the Sapphire Directive. She was the one. Also, what I've also found in Kickstarters, what's great. Yeah, she says hi, by the way. The sound's a bit spotty. We apologize. Like, I think everybody's internet's stupid right now. Like, mine has been really weird sometimes, too. Like, it's been cutting in and out and being weird, too.
Am I talking too softly?
Actually, it's good that if you put your face up to the camera, I can hear you a lot better.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm close.
Okay, there you go. Hey, Quentin, how's it going? So, yeah, the thing is that what I've understood about Kickstarters, what's kind of funny, we were talking about this earlier, is that, you know, sometimes it's kind of like a made-to-order system in a way, fast food. I was telling you, like, yeah, it's kind of weird. Like, another tip, guys, for Kickstarters is that you don't do this with every fan, but I've noticed, like, okay, so, Denise, can I point you out? Okay, so, Denise, you wanted some stuff, but it wasn't up on the Kickstarter. Oh, Quentin says, "What's up, demon bitches?" I said, "We're doing good." I'm going to go and probably collapse after this, but So what ended up happening was is that she just said, "Oh yeah, I want this and I want that, but is there a way? Like, is there a way to do a do a reward?" And she said, "I don't want to be like, exclusive." I said, "No, I can put it together," and I just did it. And I told her, "Done." And you know what? Every time people have like asked me, "Can you customize the reward for me?" It keeps going up and keeps going up. Like, and in a way, it kind of helps you connect with your fans better. Like one person, he never heard of me. He heard of me through other people, and then he said, "Can you do this type of reward?" I said, "Sure." It was like 2 PDFs and a pin. And after I did that, he said, "Oh yeah, I shared your stuff in other groups." So it's like not that much trouble. Yeah, you could just port it together.
And that's true for me too. I mean, if somebody emails me and said, "Oh, I want a reward that would just give me this."
Yeah.
I'm happy to put it together.
Yeah, yeah. So it's just like, we were talking about that, and I think some people in the Kickstarting community I don't want to be presumptuous, but might be kind of apprehensive, like, no, I'll be dealing with all of this. And it's like, not really, honestly. I think, if you have the reward labeled, it's up there and they can just switch it up. And I think that's great. I mean, it kind of gets you more dedicated fans because they feel like they're getting certain amount of attention too. Like, oh yeah, sure. I mean, I must have like picked up something in my years at retail, right? Yeah, and Denise was happy. She's saying, "Yes, I'm getting some fun shit. Thanks, Christy." And what's funny is that if one of your members like goes and requests like a special reward, it's funny because other people will buy that reward. Like there's like 1 or 2 other people that have gotten that reward, so it's kind of cool. That beeping someone sounds like someone's honking the horn and said, "No, that's our internet being stupid." Beep beep. It's just like one of those things. But no.
I don't even hear any beep beep.
I think it's like I'm hearing it, but I don't know if it's the connection because my connection has been a bit dongy. So Quentin, sorry, he's from the Netherlands, so it's like I just said, yeah, it's a bit dongy, so I apologize, whatever. But yeah.
Well, I went to see all the Oscar-nominated shorts the other day.
Oh yeah, tell us about that.
Well, it was interesting. First of all of them were depressing. Oh, well, no. There were a couple that weren't depressing, but it was like, you don't want to go there if you're depressed because you just want to kill yourself when you walk out of there.
Oh, yeah.
But I can't tell you, almost every single one of them, it might have been every single one of them, were done on Kickstarter. And
that's funny.
The thank yous of the Kickstarters, the people who supported their Kickstarter at the end of each film. We plan on doing that with a page in our Mary Shelley Presents trade that we're going to print out. But the most interesting one was instead of names, it had all the pictures of people.
Oh, cool.
All the people who supported them, it was their pictures.
Oh, nice.
But I was just so impressed at how Kickstarter funds these really interesting films, although depressing.
Yeah, right. I think it's like sometimes when people do depressing, they think it's deep. I don't know the subject matter. I mean, I don't know exactly what they're doing about it. I mean, there is a thing for depressing stuff, it is part of it. But I've noticed sometimes, like, with some artists and everything. By the way, hi, David, how's it going? Hey, Rose, how's it going? Rose said, you customized mine by signing on a page. I took something potentially depressing and made it funny. Like, there's a picture of my tumor in the fucking book. And my friend, and Rose, she also contributed to the Kickstarter. But not only that, but she's also one of the fan artists in the book. And she just said, can you just sign it on the tumor? And we started laughing. So it was just like one of those dark humor things. But no, it's like, it's weird because like when I go and kind of reward people, I say, well, like, do you want this signed on the tumor or what? Stuff like that. But, it's kind of like, it's weird because like with Kickstarter now, it's like a weird comedic bent. But yeah, like Kickstarter has really kind of helped people create stuff that they wouldn't be able to do or it would take them a lot longer to do anywhere else.
Well, this is the card my sister gave me. Can you tell what it is?
They're lungs, right?
Yep, and it just says breathe at the bottom. So yeah, you have to, because I had a double lung transplant, so you have to, have a sense of humor about these kinds of things.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like, oh, the beeping is Egg Lady backing up. So Rose, she really likes Egg Lady, and if you guys don't know, if you've never read the comic, I've noticed that all you guys have followed Demon Bitch, but you know who Egg Lady is, right? I don't know if you've read enough of Demon Bitch or remember that part about it. It's not to put you on the spot, like I know you have 10 million other things to do, but and I know not everybody has read Demon Bitch. So.
Well, I've read it, but not the web part. I've read your printed.
Oh, okay, okay. No, she was just saying like she really likes Egg Lady, so she'll make Egg Lady quips here and there. So she said the beeping is Egg Lady backing up, and I'm just like, Rose is savage. I got to tell you, she's fucking savage on that. We'll like sit there, we'll start writing it. Or sometimes I think we kind of like she's a personal friend of mine, so we'll kind of like double team off of each other about like like weird ass jokes, and we just make like the worst jokes ever. So it's like, yeah, we have. There's a certain, but yes, I do agree. There's a certain warped sense of humor. Like, you know, like I make fun of like having surgery. Like, okay, so Debbie and I have bonded over this. We both had really major surgery. So if you weren't able to hear her, she had a double lung transplant. That is some shit. So it's weird. And then so for me, I had a Whipple procedure. And I know you guys have been around and you've listened to me many times, but essentially they reroute your whole digestive system to take out a pancreatic tumor because the blood circulation is like very intricate down in that area, and they may have to remove some bits of other organs. Excuse me. But the thing is that it's funny because one time we were sitting down with Madeline. I also had her on the show earlier, and she does Boston Metaphysical, and she just fucking slays with Kickstarters. But we were talking about that, and it's so funny how like Madeline was from a position where she had the orthoscopic shoulder. But the thing is that she says that's really minor compared to what you had and what I had. And then both of us that went through the major surgery were like, about our own. So it's like when I heard, it's like,
you know, you go through what you have to go through. That's it.
Yeah, that's what we were saying. It's like you don't really have time to think about it. It just kind of like, oh, it sucks. All right, we'll have to do it. But it was funny because like on my end, when you said double lung, I'm like, holy fuck, you know. But then when you heard Whipple, you were like. But then, like, about our own respect, I'm like, okay, we did it. So, we're just laughing about it. I mean, on lunch hour, we talk about anything. So, it's just like they get to know you as a person and everything. And we just sit down and we all chat about stuff like that while I draw horrible pictures. So, there we go.
That's the thing I can't do. I can't draw.
No, it's all right. It's okay. Rose is saying, I grew up in the 90s, so most of my humor is 90s cynicism.
Okay.
I think it was more apathy, Rose. I don't know if we were cynical. We were just more like, at least from what I remember, we were just kind of, yeah, okay. we were just sarcastic, I think, a lot of the time. At least my age group, if that dates me. But anyway, so what inspired you to do the Mary Shelley Presents? Sorry, my brain is so full. I apologize.
Okay, so Chimera Press is a company that supports women in comics, and we use all female writers and artists, except for I just had a male artist do a illustration for us, and he's great. I have really liked him, and so I wanted to go ahead and do that. But anyway, for the 200th anniversary of Frankenstein, Nancy Holder and I wanted to do something, and we didn't want to revisit Frankenstein. I mean, it's been done so many times, so many versions.
Yeah.
Some really, really good, some really, really bad. And so it took us a while, but we decided to use Mary Shelley and Frankenstein's monster to introduce the short stories, you know, like The Crypt Keeper. You guys may not know who the Crypt Keeper is, but I grew up in the 70s, so he used to introduce horror stories. So we use them to introduce it. They talk a little bit about the author. They talk a little bit at the end of the author. In every issue, we show the grave, and the cover of the trade paperback has portraits of all four women that are in the book on the cover with Mary Shelley and Frankenstein's monster. So, you know, it's just something. Nancy and I have a passion for it. It really fits in with, you know, Chimera Press because Mary Shelley and her mother were great proponents of feminism in their day and promoting women writers.
Yeah.
So it just seemed to fit.
Yeah, I think so. I think people are pretty much re-examining themselves, like especially nowadays, like with every decade, like feminism has to look at itself over and over again. Said, okay, how are we evolving with the times? How are we doing that? I mean, that's not a point that's discussed so much right now, but it's like I noticed that with people that are different generations of feminism, they kind of talk to each other. They may heavily disagree with each other. They may fight against each other, or they may come to an agreement, but they're kind of just like, we're constantly reevaluating that as women as well. And especially with how we're treated and all that and everything, you know, there you have that. Hey, Dawn, how's it going? Did she write Frankenstein during the year without a summer? I know I'd have to be creative without a summer. So Rose lives in New York. So right now it's cold as fuck at this moment. So yeah, but yeah, I've noticed that. It's like every generation of something, you know, like where you'd have, you know, people of color, every generation will talk to each other or kind of be in heavily disagreement with each other or discuss with each other what's going on. And it's interesting to see that in the world so much more now because we have the internet. Now people go complain, social media hasn't blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, look, social media may have its problems, but you have to understand we have never seen a scope where on like a litmus, I guess, or on not even, you know, like those geographical cores will like dig into the Earth's core to show each core or each time period has what. We don't have that laid out in front of us before. Before, yeah, there was some discussion, but now it's like on the internet, very many stages and very many layers and very many backgrounds of whatever you want to discuss with or what's relevant is there. And I find that interesting. And I think people are getting a little bit of sensory overload sometimes from it because we've never had that before. But I've always been under the thought that people just adapt. That's what's made us really good as a species. Sure, we might piss and whine about it sometimes, but evidently, like, we end up actually adapting better to it as a whole. Like, there are some things we fuck up in, obviously, we're human, but I find that interesting, like, looking at that, you know, like...
I swore when cell phones, you know, started becoming affordable, I would never have a cell phone. Because when I left work, I didn't want anybody calling me.
Oh, yeah.
And I worked for television, so they would.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and, you know, now I can't live without my cell phone.
Well, it's a mini computer. It's a mini computer, which you look at. Hey, Bob, how's it going? It's a mini computer because, like... Wait, let me not show all my fucking conversations in the world. But, like, with this one, I have all my, essentially, like, my life here. And the thing is that what's weird about it is, like... I was in the generation where we had to memorize phone numbers and just call people.
That's right.
But then I'm also this generation, now we do cell phones and the internet. We were there at the beginning of a lot of things that are happening now. And it's weird because it's like, we sometimes feel like the old farts that like, I don't get Twitter, but we can learn how to use Twitter because it's not totally out of our learning curve, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not saying no one else can, but I've noticed that my generation is this. Like, we had the BBSs, and if you guys don't know that, it's the bulletin board systems. We had the mucks or the moos, like where we would log in by a phone number and do the thing. Hey, Rose. Hey, Bob. How's it going? So, yeah, like we would do that. And it was kind of amazing how it was. And I guess, like, my generation, Gen X, if that dates my age group, we are the ones on the cusp of everything on that regard. We were kind of like in the middle. So it's weird for me as a person, like sometimes like somebody will call me and I'll pick up the phone or I won't answer, but I have the freedom to text them and say, hey, I can't answer right now, I'm in the middle of something. But it boggles me with the younger generation, a lot of them, where when I call them, like, you know, if I called you, pick the phone, called you, it would either go to an answer machine or you say, hey, how's it going, or something, right? But there are times like I've called people younger than me, and a lot of times they're like, why'd you call me? I have your number, you know? I called you. Well, you should just text me. I'm like, okay. I mean, but in a way...
I have a stepson who will not answer his phone. He only does text.
Yeah. I mean, and sometimes it's easier. I mean,
Call us back, but
yeah.
once we text him, he'll call us back, but he won't answer them.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's like sometimes I'll tell people, you know what, if you need to get a hold of me, text me if it's quick, because there are times I just can't talk on the phone. So if it's a quick answer, I'll just go and answer it. I'll just go text them. But it's weird. And then, or like, if you leave me a message, it's kind of harder. But if you need it back, just go ahead and text me. So I like almost now never leave answering messages. It's really weird. And usually it's full anyway, so I just text me, that's it. My friend Rose was saying, remember computers on the original Twilight Zone? I can't remember that computer. I know they were kind of box-like with weird buttons, right?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I had those computers. I remember them well.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's weird because I remember the 486 and then the Pentiums came out. That was like, oh my God. But now it's like, okay, cool. So remember computers on the original Twilight Zone. Yeah. So by the way, guys, if you guys are just logging in, just as a heads up, or if you log in soon after, her Kickstarter is pinned to the top of the comments. So please go and take a look. Like, share, subscribe. You know what they say on YouTube, like, share, subscribe. Or you just go on to... or you can go and support my Kickstarter, or you can do both. You can't do one, you don't have to do one or the other. So just throw $1, and that makes a world of difference.
Generous person.
Yeah. So there you go. I like to refresh it every now and then because sometimes people come in and out and they don't. I've noticed that like sometimes also because we're inundated with so much media, you have to kind of like inundate them and then break it down a little bit. So I'll say, here's all the stuff. Oh, okay, here we go, right there. So, yeah, I remember those computers on the edge. We were actually watching the old school with Vincent Price. It wasn't I Am Legend as of yet, but remember the short story I Am Legend? And, they made a movie out of it. I can't remember. What?
Richard Matheson wrote it.
Yeah, I remember reading the original. And but I couldn't remember. I'm trying to remember. Vincent Price, what was that story called? It was the same thing.
It was a vampire?
It was like a vampire story. Maybe? I don't know. I can't remember. But I remember watching it. Like my friends and I, we got together for Super Bowl and I was watching it. I was like, oh, I remember this. This is where I Am Legend came from. The mysterious cold where everybody like started dying. They would go blind and then die. And then they'd come back as a vampire or something.
Right.
Yeah. Hey, Dallas, how's it going? So, yeah. So there you go. So. But anyway. But so what are you doing today on this lovely day other than watching your Kickstarter like a hawk like I am?
Yes, that's the big thing. And since I recently moved back to Las Vegas, we are still unpacking boxes. So I'll be doing that and trying to straighten out my office.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm kind of doing that myself right now, too. Like, not straightening it out, but kind of just getting my brain back in order about some things. Because it's very interesting to me, like, even though months after the surgery, how much I have to kind of adjust things. It's weird. It's like, I don't know, it's weird. It changes your whole attitude.
You're not the same person. You just don't the same person anymore because... you've lost a part of yourself, and no matter what people say, when you have part of your organs taken out like you have, because you've had a lot taken out.
Yeah.
There's a loss there. There's it's kind of like losing your favorite pet or something.
Oh, I named my gallbladder Huey.
It's your body. It's your body.
I named my gallbladder Huey, by the way, just to let you know.
Yeah.
I miss him.
Well, I did go and see my lungs, my diseased lungs, after I was recovered enough.
I envy you. I asked them to take a picture of the tumor, and you just gave me this weird look.
Oh, they didn't do it?
No, well, apparently they had to send it right away to pathology to make sure it wasn't cancerous. That was the final step for my thing. So when they took the tumor out, what they actually have to do is the last line of things is they have to,
Right.
you know, biopsy and make sure nothing's spread. I mean, they said they actually removed some of my stomach fat. I'm like, well, I got something great out of this. I don't know, and 7 of my lymph nodes on top of it. So they delivered my gallbladder. I mean, they described it. They talked about my gallbladder. Then they talked about my pancreatic tumor. Then they talked about like the section that they took out of my stomach. But I said, like, somebody fucking take a picture. Like, come on, these are mine. You know, fuck.
Exactly.
But I didn't. But so how was it like looking at your diseased lungs?
First of all, I was shocked at how bad they were.
Really?
And
Wow.
then I had to thank them for keeping me alive for as long as they did.
Your lungs.
And then when my husband Paul was with us and we walked out, we both turned to each other and both of us just started sobbing because
Wow.
it was a very emotional experience. You know, because they had shriveled up. They were very small.
Ooh.
And they were so scarred. I mean, the person who was there telling us, you know, oh, you can feel here, because I got to pick them up too. Oh, feel here.
Damn.
This is the spongy part, and all the rest of it is scar part. You can feel how hard they. I mean, it was just really.
How did you get around to like touching them? Because like I know in California they kind of get pissy about that. Like they say it's OSHA regulations. You shouldn't. Like I don't know. Like
This
what?
was California. It was done at Stanford up in Palo Alto. They just give you gloves so that you can, you know, touch them.
Fuck! I wish I could have done that with my tumor. I mean, I know that sounds weird and sick.
Exactly, because I wanted to see my lungs, and they, you know, I guess nobody does it. They tell you can do it, but nobody does it.
Yeah, because I mean, like, did you tell him like I want to? And you, this was probably like some time after your surgery, because yours was major surgery, right?
Right.
So I'm guessing like how long out? What?
It was after I'd recovered enough that I was actually walking. I wasn't in a wheelchair anymore, so
Yeah.
it was probably 3 to 4 months.
Wow. Like, I wish they could have done that, because it's like I said, can you take a picture? Can I take it home? And they were like looking at me all funny. So, but I mean, yeah, it is part of my body. Like, I'd like to see the little fucker that tried to kill me, like, that just decided, oh, I'm going to kill you, like, as of 10 years ago, you know? So, because the tumor that I had was, like, long-standing. It wasn't, like, this whole thing where it was, like, this, oh, it just grew really fast. It was, like, literally, like, I kind of correlated to, like, weird metabolic changes. Like, I would eat a piece of pizza and I'd gain 5 pounds mysteriously. So I'd be like, what? You know? And then, or I'd walk a mile to get a burger, eat a burger, and walk back. But I'm like, come on, I got to burn something. And I gained okay, for the record, guys, so far it's 35 pounds that I had lost. So I'd like to know, like, I wanted to see the little thing where it decided, I'm going to go kill you, bitch, like, 10 years ago. Because I correlated it was probably about 10 years ago when this shit started growing in me. That's when I started gaining, like, unexplained weight and everything and all that. And then I just noticed also, like, how much my upper stomach got distended. Like, now I look at it and it's just sometimes I look at myself in the mirror and it's not like losing a significant amount of weight. But it's more my body shape has changed. Not because I've lost weight, but it's just like I don't have this thing fucking... Like, my friend Tony, he's like a pretty big guy. He's like, fuck, you know? Like 6 inches, it's like he was like this, you know? That's almost like 3/4 of my width, you know? So it's not a small fucking thing. So it's kind of... It sort of weirds me out in a way. And I wish I could have seen it and touched it. And like, oh, these were inside me, because it's like that weird feeling like they've been in you this whole time, but you're not.
You is gone now. A part of you is gone now.
Yeah, and then you never saw it before. You never saw or touched it. It's weird. It's like having this thing around you and all that. So yeah, so here we are talking about our organs and stuff. So let me see here. I'm also drawing a horrible cartoon right now. So as we're talking about this intensely deep thing, I'm drawing disgusting cartoons as we speak.
Yeah. I don't know. I you know, people kind of expect you to be the same person that you were before the surgery.
Yeah.
And you can't be. it changes the way you move. It changes what you can do, especially like for you, for eating. You probably can't eat as much. I mean, we talked about that.
Yeah, like physically, it's weird. I surprise myself some days. Hey, Jeffrey, how's it going? I surprise myself some days. Like there are times where I really feel it. And there are times like today, I ate like 2 bowls of rice, a salad, and some pieces of meat. And I'm like, whoa, this is a lot for me. Because I would think that, yeah. But it's like weird. Like it really, like I tell people, sometimes when I eat something, it's like you feel, like you're like, oh, this is heavier. Oh, this kind of expands in my stomach. I feel it way more. And I was telling my friend Lawrence, like I was eating some tamales, not tamales, enchiladas, and they were good. Don't get me wrong. But I said after like one, I couldn't eat anymore. And he said, well, how come? And I said, it's weird. It kind of expands in my stomach. Hey, Bria, how's it going? But it's not like, it's not like they were bad. It was just weird because you're more sensitive to it now. It's like
well,
I can.
Part of your stomach's gone.
Yeah, and it's weird because it's
smaller than it used to be.
Yeah, but it's like I can do stuff like eat like a lot of something and be okay. And it's weird. Like now you can tell which foods, but it's not always in that same classification. Like some bread is hard for me to eat. I mean, not like I can't eat it, but I have to be aware because sometimes more that type of bread like will expand quicker. But if I like go to CPK, I can eat a lot of CPK because it's relatively flat bread. But it's not always the same. It's like weird how it does it. So I just find it interesting that, I have to go on that level. But it's weird because there are times I surprise myself, like, how the fuck did I eat like a double with like all these fries? But I'm able to do it. But also what's kind of amazing now, it's like sometimes I think, oh, maybe I shouldn't eat that because I'll gain weight. But I'm going from my old metabolism that I've been used to for 10 years. And now it's like I ate this food. I only gained a few pounds. And I'm not trying to be like I have an eating disorder. It's just weird because when you're used to a weird metabolism, you kind of have to get back to normal. Like, oh, I gained like 3 pounds today, and then I lost like literally a pound because I can't eat as much, So it's like really weird to me now. So it's like,
that's part of the new you.
Yeah, I know.
Just so, yeah. So I mean. The reason I got into doing Chimera Press in the first place is because I was sick and I could no longer write for television. I didn't have the stamina for it.
Yeah.
So I started this company and I write Gates of Midnight and somebody writes all the other titles. And now we're doing Mary Shelley Presents, which I absolutely love, and I love working with Nancy Holder. And if you don't know who she is, you should find out because she is such a good writer. She's amazing. I mean, she wrote the novelization for Wonder Woman.
Oh, nice.
For Crimson Peak. Isn't that the name of it, Crimson Peak?
Crimson Peak sounds about right.
And she's done all kind of Buffy the Vampire. She's done Firefly. She's done Teen Wolf. I mean, those are her tie-ins, but she's just amazing. She's an amazing writer.
Yeah. So it's been pretty good. So I'm not familiar with writing for television. Okay, so I'm asking from somebody completely ignorant. So you said you didn't have the stamina for writing for television, and it's not like I'm saying. I guess I just don't know because I'm from the perspective of being a writer. I mean, not a writer, an artist.
Right.
And for me as an artist, I say, well, sometimes I just don't have the stamina to draw. I don't have the focus draw or whatever. And I can explain from my standpoint. So what do you mean by stamina to write? Like for TV? Like what does that, like how much?
So a lot of what we have to do is we go to the writer's room and we break stories there. Which means that we go through and we try to get an outline for the writer to go off and write from this outline. Or the writer brings in an outline and then we work on that, okay, something like that. So you spend a lot of time and energy during the day in the writer's room using your brain, trying to figure out, what works and what doesn't other people. It's exciting. And for me, I was also a on-set producer, so I was usually in Salt Lake City, Mississippi, or wherever we were shooting. And then I became a good actor. It's one of those things where you have to be on the set from the first moment that the actors get there. And talk about something. It's going to be shot that day till wrap, and that could be 14, 16 hours. So and it's writing on demand. You cannot say, oh, I don't feel like writing, or oh, I'm not inspired, or oh, I don't know how to fix it. You have to do it.
No. I was just curious to know, because it's like I kind of have a background in film, but I've never worked in that capacity on film or anything. So I've just been curious, because sometimes people say, well, I don't know how that's that hard to write and all that, or how to do. And it's like, it's always good to have somebody that does it, who's known. It's like, well, this is how demanding it is, mentally and physically.
One of the things I want to say to you as well as an artist is that when you, what I found out when I was sick, when you have a concentrated effort on something and you're truly focused and you're really working, it uses as much oxygen as jogging.
Yeah, I can believe that.
And so you deplete your body of oxygen, and you need to take some time to get that back. So, And the other thing I'd like to put out there to all you Facebook people, the disease I had was called bronchiolitis obliterans. It came from the butter flavoring of microwave popcorn. There's a toxic chemical in the butter flavoring, and when you open that bag and it smells so good and it hangs in the air for about 2 to 3 hours, you're breathing that toxic chemical into your lungs. It's called popcorn lung. You can Google it. You can find out all about it. Please don't eat microwave popcorn that has butter in it. Put your own butter on it.
Does it actually kind of make you nauseous if you ever smell it? Because, I mean, obviously it's common everywhere. But, obviously somebody's going to be probably throwing it in somewhere. Maybe not at your house, but you get what I mean, like, if you're around.
Yeah, I have not been around it. If I know somebody's making it, I leave.
Yeah.
It's not like it's not like when you go to the movies and they put stuff on it. It's only when it's made into steam and you're breathing it. That's all. Oh,
I see. Yeah, it's kind of weird because I don't get into that habit of eating microwave popcorn. It's weird. I like popcorn, but it's like, I just never,
Most production offices have them.
Oh, okay.
It's free, it's easy, it's quick, it's,
It's tasty.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you're alive, first of all.
Thank you, and I'm glad you are too.
Yeah. I think this is like a weird, like, Star Trek moment. It's like, it's a weird Star Trek moment. They just, like, have certain weird greetings for each other and feel like we kind of have our weird alien greeting. I'm glad that you're alive.
That's right. and we can go, the Frankenstein thing, because you've been rerouted. I have somebody else's lungs inside of me, which is really weird.
Do you kind of I've always wondered, like, when you had transplants, like, do you feel like that other person inside of you? Like how they always say in some indigenous cultures, or even, like, I don't even want to say transubstantiation, it's not the correct thing, but, like you have another piece of a person inside of you. Do you kind of, I mean, I know you have to take immunosuppressants, but does it kind of feel different sometimes?
It does feel different because I can breathe.
Yeah, obviously.
That's really different. And every time I take a really deep breath, I'm like, wow, I can do that. Mm-hmm. But I've had a few weird things happen. Like, I've always hated cucumbers, and after my transplant in the hospital, I started getting sandwiches with cucumbers on them, and I liked them, and things like that. So I told Paul, my lungs are slowly taking over my body.
You know, I kind of relate to that. Like for a while as a kid, I would eat a lot of apples. My mom said, like I would not want candy. I eat apples like crazy. And what was weird was is that around the time I think when I started getting sick, I just got tired of apples. I just didn't want to eat them. Now I'm going back to eating apples. So I don't know if that has that weird correlation or not. I was telling my doctor, I said, that's really strange. Like all of a sudden I fucking want apple this, apple that. So I don't know if like you not liking your favorite food anymore is that. So it's like that explains why people prefer cooking popcorn on the stove instead of a microwave. Well, yeah. There's also, I think, hey Corey, how's it going? I think it's also they're discovering now like if you pop popcorn, it's better in coconut oil. Tastes better. I've noticed. I was just thinking on the side. Sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah. So yeah, like it's weird because I'm telling you, lunch hour we'll just talk all sorts of shit. Like we'll just talk everything from the deepest things to like, yeah, popcorn tastes better like this. Yeah. But it's just weird. Like yeah, it's weird having pieces taken out of you. It's like in some ways on the outside I feel I look normal, maybe even better, but on the inside it's sort of like I'm missing my organs that I was born with. This is so weird, you know? Like the gallbladder, it's like that's weird in itself. And then, you know, the stomach and everything. So it's kind of funny. I've just never I don't know. I mean, it's just kind of one of those weird things that I've had to deal with. Hey Corey, how's it going? So yes, I said hi Corey. But yeah, so anyway. But yeah, so my big ass fat ass black cat is up there.
Oh really?
Yeah, she sleeps up there. I mean, she's a young cat, but she's got a big ass right now. And then my ginger cat is around here somewhere, and he's doing the thing. So, guys, if you just joined, I've pinned Debbie's Kickstarter on the top of the comments. Please take a look. Throw her $1. Throw her some support, man. You guys have supported me. My Kickstarter is going on till the 20th, and we funded, but I want to get that stretch goal. So, hey, throw it out there for both of us, guys. And you know what? Share her stuff around. Share mine around. You know, we'd love it. Just talk about it.
Greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Are you going to ShiroCon?
ShiroCon?
Yes.
Yes, I am. I have a table there. So next one I'll be at is ShiroCon. That is at Culver City, Westfield Culver City Mall, or AKA Fox Hills Mall for people that are longtime Los Angelites. So you guys got to check that out. So yeah, we'll be there. Yeah.
Is it?
What?
Is it not called Fox Hills Mall anymore?
You know, it's funny because the older generation will call it Fox Hills Mall, but since it's been revamped, it's like Westfield Culver City.
Okay.
It's got taken over by Westfield, I think. And it has been for a while, but it was known, like, I think since the 70s as Fox Hills Mall. So, I mean, I didn't know, like, I'm not from LA, but I've been living in LA for 10 years, so I'm slowly getting the jargon of LA. So there you go on that. So, been pretty good.
I lived there a long time, so yeah, Fox Hills Mall. I have a table there as well.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah, so you're going to be promoting Mary Shelley Presents, as well as all the other books, Gates of Midnight. By the way, just to let you know, I did one of the logos for Gates of Midnight for the comic book.
That's right.
So there you go. She enjoyed it. It was great. So cooking popcorn with coconut oil. Holy shit, that's a kick-ass idea. Thanks, see. Yeah, we trade recipes on lunch hour. Why not, right? We talk about all sorts of shit right over there. It's like sometimes I'll just be... It's funny how the juxtaposition of the show is, because, like, right now I'm drawing really rude picture or cartoon of Shitbird, right? And it, like, you know, it's a new character I introduced. And it's funny because, like, I'll be drawing rude, dirty things with Demon Bitch, but yet I'll be having this very deep conversation, a very insightful conversation with a guest, which is hilarious. But I think that's why people like Demon Bitch on that level in Lunch Hour, because it's life. You know, it's not going to be this nice little compartmentalized things like, okay, well, I'm happy. So when I'm happy, there's absolutely no sad things or upsetting things. No, there are, but they all kind of happen at the same time in life. So it's kind of like I'm drawing rude, dirty things, but we're talking about, like, cool things like lung transplants and shit. I'm still pissed that I could not touch my pancreas when they took it out. But from what I hear, like, from my...
I would have wanted to.
I didn't know that was a thing. And the thing is, my brother-in-law's brother, he's an oncologist. But he did he actually poked his fingers inside of Steve Jobs, apparently, because he was a resident surgeon. Like, there was the main surgeon, but he worked on Steve Jobs' Whipple, too. So that's why he was so familiar with it. And he says it just looks kind of deflated. It really doesn't weigh much after they drain it. So it's like you get this weird sort of thing, and then because he's a doctor, I said, well, do you want to see my pathology reports? I said, I'm not trying to ask you to diagnose. It's great. I just want you to know. And he said, oh yeah, totally. So I just sent him my pathology reports. He said, oh, I'll totally look into it and everything.
Well, I actually posted pictures of my lung on my Facebook page, but I did it where they could follow a link so that the people who didn't want to see them.
I actually need to see that. I didn't see that on your Facebook. Maybe Facebook repressed that for me.
Oh, maybe. I mean, Facebook is so bizarre about what feeds I get, you know. So.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's weird. It's like one time I added garlic butter on the popcorn and school kids loved it. Quentin is like, he loves food a lot.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Garlic butter.
Well,
yeah.
I went to Costco and I got some garlic butter. It's downstairs in my fridge, downstairs. So I got to get that out. Now Rose is going, now I want popcorn. We're a family here on lunch hour. What can I say?
Well, it is lunch hour.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I did it because it's like you hate everybody else. Okay, that's fine. Now you can go and do the lunch hour stuff. So it's like you watch this instead of your fucking interacting with other people you hate. So there you go.
So, do you want to come in and say hello?
Who's this?
Paul. They can't see you unless you're...
No, she can hear me.
Okay.
Hey, Paul. How's it going? It's Christie.
What?
Can she vacuum stuff in here?
Yes. Not in here, but there. Okay.
Yeah. Now I want popcorn, people are saying. So, yeah. But, yeah, so how's it like working with other artists? So what's the current artist you have now drawing on it as well as for Mary Shelley Presents?
We're working with Amelia Wu, and Amelia is a penciler and inker from Brazil. And she's been with me from the very beginning because I write Gates of Midnight, and Amelia was the first person I hired to draw.
I remember that.
And she is such an amazing artist. And if you look at the cover of Mary Shelley Presents, you'll see that there's 4 women, and those are the 4 women who wrote the stories that are inside, and they're exact likenesses. I mean, that's why we put one of the rewards as Amelia adding your figure to the cover of issue number 1, standing with Mary Shelley and Frankenstein's monster. It would be a poster.
Yeah.
And it would have your likeness on it. So that's one of the rewards we have because she is so good at that.
Mm-hmm.
Our colorist for Mary Shelley Presents is Dirvala. It's hard for me to pronounce because it's a Celtic thing, I think.
Oh, I think I met her. I actually did meet her. She did, I think she did Pet Noir. I think she did that. She was associated with it.
That was Anna.
Anna. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Dirvala Kelly is new because Sandra Molina, who's been with me for a long time as well too, ended up with a wrist injury that took her out of coloring.
Oh, damn. That sucks.
That was really, really sad because she was just brilliant. But Dirvala is really good, and you know, I couldn't have found a better replacement for Sandra.
Well, that's good. Yeah. I mean, that sucks as an artist. That's one of my fears is that I could never draw or color again. And yeah, so that's not a good thing. So I totally get that on that. Hey, Mark. Hey, Andrew. How's it going? Rose said hello to Paul, your husband.
Thank you, Rose.
Yeah, right. So yeah,
I'm in front of the camera, but
it's not gonna break if he's in front of it. I know. Some people get like, I don't want to talk in front of the camera. It's like, it's okay. Don't worry about it. It's not gonna bite you. And for a while, I really hated my pictures too, personally, because I was just like, I mean, with the tumor, I'm not gonna go back to it over and over again. It just was weird how it just kind of affected how I looked in general. Like even my friends say like, wow, you look sicker then. You know, but they didn't know at the time. But when they saw it, it was like, oh, whoa, you were really sick. I'm like, I think so too, you know.
Yeah. It's funny because when my brother-in-law first walked into the it was ICU, when I was in ICU, and he said to me, "Wow, I didn't know you had color in your face."
Yeah, right?
Because there's so much color in my face from the oxygen. So, yeah. And that's what people say to me all the time.
Yeah, like, you look good. You look good. I'm like,
Yeah.
you're kind of shocked because it's like, I look that bad? I mean, it's not like you were angry about it. It's just like, how messed up was I?
For me, I just, it's like, I do, because I don't, it's like I don't feel like I do, but okay, thanks.
Well, some of my friends are going like, you looked more pissed off then, but now you look actually healthier and happier. I'm like,
You
yeah.
really do look healthier.
Yeah, I think that little fucker was sucking the life out of me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chuck Close found a way to keep doing that art after he was paralyzed. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you persevere, but it's like if you have an injury where it's like repetitive stress, it's hard because you're forced not to do it anymore. That's the...
We have an artist here in Las Vegas that paints with his mouth.
I think I've heard of him. Isn't he pretty famous or something?
Yeah, I don't know if he's... Yeah. Well, he works for Top Cow, so it's pretty good.
Oh, wow. Is he? So he's completely paralyzed?
I don't think he's completely paralyzed. I think he can move a little bit, but not much. I can't quite remember. I met him at a signing at my local comic book store called Alternate Realities here in Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
He was doing a signing, and it was just, he was amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's always a good thing. Yeah, it's just like you kind of have to adapt. Like, sometimes I'll actually take some breaks, like if I'm exhausted, to not draw. And what I don't like is a lot of artists, they'll go like, you need to draw all the time every day. I said, okay, you need to stop with that shit. Because, like, first...
Same with writing.
Yeah.
And they say you have to write every day, and it's like, I don't know how they do that. I think you have to write a lot,
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I can't make the commitment to write every day, and that might be, a cop-out or something, but especially when I was sick. I mean, there's a part of me that is scared to death. I'm writing a short story right now, getting back to the short story writing. Mm-hmm. I know I have a lot of fear around it because I hadn't been able to write for so long because I didn't have the focus.
Yeah, you probably didn't have the stamina as well.
But yeah, the illness and the lung transplant, it took a long. Then I got pneumonia, just all that stuff with the lung transplant, which I won't bore you with.
Yeah.
But it took a long time to get to where I'm healthy.
Yeah.
And I am healthy and happy and coming up on my 3rd year anniversary. So
that's always a good thing. Yeah. Rose was talking about how she takes breaks from her comics to work on food art. And I think it's important too, like to kind of do similar things. Like I think there was a guy that was like a big time world medalist or something with sprinting. It was like early 70s or something, and he was training to break his record, but for some reason he couldn't do it. He would always keep hitting the same speed. So he and his buddies decided, okay, well, what we're going to do, we're going to go and go mountain climbing. Still physical, but something else. Next week he broke his speed limit. So sometimes you just need to kind of do something else. Like I enjoy cooking too. So I'll make something for myself or make something. And then for a while, and then it's like I'll go back to art refreshed. Or sometimes I just won't touch it for a while because it's like I didn't feel like doing it for a while. And that might sound like the ultimate most petty thing ever. Like, oh, you don't really care about your art if you don't feel like doing it. It's like, look, if I don't feel like doing it, then I don't want to do it. So if I know myself, if I keep pushing myself, if I don't want to do something, it's going to be shit. That doesn't mean I go like, I don't feel it today, I won't ever do it. It's just that if I have a deadline and I always know the deadline's a few days away, it's like, okay, let me take a day to myself. And then usually I'm really prolific the next day. I'll get it done because it's a lot better. There's a recognition of where you need to, because I think artists are kind of shat on about this, and maybe writers too, but my focus is an artist because I'm an artist myself. It's like, I'm not feeling it today, I'm not going to go paint, I cannot paint. And I'm like, okay, look, it's not quite like that, guys. Like, sometimes if you really aren't feeling it, it's going to show. So I would rather show my best work and do it, but I understand myself better. This is why I think artists kind of need to do their own schedule rather than try to go and cram themselves into an optimum schedule. I mean, you could try other things that people suggest, but really it's about you. And sometimes, like, I'll say, okay, I can get something done in a week. But that's also including days that I just want to take a break on and kind of regroup on things. Because there have been times, plenty of times, like, I'll draw something and I think it looks like shit. And then I'll, like, step away from it for a day. And I'll look at it and I'm like, oh, it's a lot better than what I thought. So it's like, instead of, it's, to me, that's more productive, on that level.
And I'm a quilter.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yeah, so that's my artistic, side, is putting together colors and sewing them together and, all the kind of stuff. So
that's still artwork. I mean, sometimes I craft stuff too, so it's like, there's no shame in that. I think that's perfectly okay.
Yeah, I love it. I don't get to do it a whole lot, but I really do like it.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it's 1:30, guys. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming to lunch hour. Thank you for coming here. Yeah, so let me go ahead, and you guys have a great day. Please check out our Kickstarter. It just started a few days ago. Please throw her that momentum. I'm finishing. I'm on the tail end of mine. I'm trying to get the stretch goal done. So throw it out. Throw it both of ours out there. Throw one of ours out there or whatever. But just give us some support. Yeah. You want a pen?
I want a pen.
Oh, pen. Okay.
We gotta hit that stretch goal, and I'll whatever.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. But you guys have a great day. Stay safe. I'm gonna go and stop the stream right here. And you guys have a great day. Okay. Talk to you then. Bye bye.